All right, everybody, what's going on? Today I have a long-awaited episode. It's been a year in the making, but we finally got him on the show. His name is Pedro Gomez. You guys know him as the guy at Drew Estate. Pedro's the factory spokesperson, if I believe. Is that correct, Pedro?
That is correct. Yep.
Pedro, thank you so much for coming on to this show. We're so excited.
Thank you so very much for having us. Joseph, it is a pleasure for me to be in this amazing podcast and for
Yeah,
all the audience out there. So I want you guys to follow Smoke Masters on Instagram. Is that right, buddy?
that's right. That's right. Smoke
And
Master Cigars. Exactly.
Smoke Master Cigars on
Yep.
YouTube, Facebook, all the social media platform. Because when it comes to this amazing show, you guys are great. You guys are bringing great content for cigar lovers. Is that
My
right?
man. My man. Exactly. I appreciate that. Very kind. So, so just out of curiosity, how long have you been in this role as the factory spokesperson for Drew Estate? And how'd you get started in the first
Well,
place?
thank you so very much, Joseph. So to
Yeah.
me, everything in life happens for a reason. So I
Yep.
was born and raised in Esteli, Nicaragua. I had the opportunity to before I came to Drew Estate, way before everything else, I was a saddle maker. So I used to make saddle for horses.
Wow.
So I spent like 9 years making saddles in Nicaragua. I was living in Esteli. And through making saddles and going to school, that's how I finished school in my country. So
Yeah.
I applied for a full scholarship to come to the United States. The program was paid by the United States government and it was managed by Georgetown University. So
Yep.
out of 300 students, two got the opportunity to come to the United States for school. So the major that I applied for, it was international commerce. But at the same time, I didn't know nothing about English, so I was taking ESL classes. So
Wow.
if sometimes my English doesn't come properly. If you see my Tony Montana accent just coming out of the blue,
Yes.
don't worry, it's all good. So I finished school, and then I part of the rule of the program is that you have to go back to your country, and that's what I did in 2006. I went to my hometown in Esteli, Nicaragua, and I went to every single cigar factory back in that time. And none of them had nothing for me. And the last hope that I had, it was a small little factory in downtown Esteli, and that one was Drew Estate. So I joined
Wow.
them when Drew Estate was, upper coming cigar company. And it has been a bless. So being with Drew Estate since August 2006,
Wow.
coming around to 18 years.
Yep.
So I have been wearing different hats in Drew Estate
Yep.
between working operations as a operation manager assistant to work with Cigar Safari. That's when I met your buddy in Nicaragua.
Yes.
To work in international sales, which when I had the opportunity to open the Canadian market, I had the opportunity to open with another company. I just recently find out that the co-founder passed away.
Okay. To my knowledge, I'm not sure. Yeah, but right.
Yeah, so man, life is about that, man. You got people today, people are gonna be gone tomorrow. We are gonna be gone tomorrow. So what
Yes.
we got left is what is happening right now, right here.
Exactly.
So yeah, so I was doing the international sales for Drew Estate for 3 years. And then 2013, Drew Estate moved me from Nicaragua to come and work for them here in the United States. And they gave me the title to be the factory spokesperson. So I was traveling around doing cigar events. And the last 3 years, I have been involved with marketing. So, and then last year, they switched a little bit the title, which is the global brand ambassador, but it's the same thing, man. At the end of the day, I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you like this. Titles doesn't mean anything if you don't love what you are doing.
Right on. Yep.
You know what I mean? So to
100%.
me, I do whatever the real estate asked me to do. And the point of doing things in life is about doing it right.
Doing it
Otherwise, don't
right.
do nothing. There is no halfway things.
Yes.
Everything is full in, like Drew Estate, like Jonathan Drew and his vision, like everything that we have been doing in the cigar industry. It's about having a very good team,
Yes.
having direction, putting the hard work, and putting passion and love, and hopefully, and just hopefully, somebody somewhere will appreciate what you got, what they got in their hands, which right now we're talking about cigars,
100%. Exactly. So just a quick Canadian history overview for the Canadian fans of Drew Estate. Jonathan Drew is the founder of the brand. He started this in a kiosk in New York City, I believe, in 1996. Does that sound about right?
That is correct. Yes.
Yeah. And it was him and a co-founder. I don't
Mhm.
remember his buddy's name. That's the
Marvin Samuel.
right. Okay. But
Mhm.
Jonathan Drew was the guy that ultimately went to Nicaragua, and he had a little bit of a hiccup in the factory there where it was hard to get your own place going at the time and to be
Mhm.
able to knock down walls, continuously expand as to what is now known as the biggest factory in Nicaragua, right?
Yes, sir.
So, but let's not go too far ahead yet. Let's backtrack. Before he even got to that point,
Mhm.
one of the distinguishing factors, if I understand correctly, just I want to know was it the acid cigar that came
Mhm.
out that helped put Drew Estate on the map in the
Mhm.
early 2000s with that
Yes.
botanical method, that infused flavor? It
Yes.
was such a distinct blend that
Mhm.
really helped
Absolutely.
distinguish the brand. What Tell me how that came about
So,
if you're
Joseph, you are
familiar.
right on point, buddy.
Yeah.
So, how Drew Estate came to be before the kiosk at the World Trade Center. Jonathan was studied to become a lawyer, and
Wow.
then he finished the whole thing, but he didn't practice that one because that's when the opportunity of the cigar came around.
Yeah.
So Jonathan, back in the days, used to sell cigars, in his to his fraternity brothers, him and his partner. And then the idea come around for them to have a little kiosk at the World Trade Center. They opened that one up. Jonathan started to sell cigars for other cigar companies. And then the opportunity came for him to have his own cigar brand. Back in that time, it was called La Vieja Habana. And La
Oh, okay.
Vieja Habana was being made in New York.
Yeah.
So Jonathan saw the opportunity. It was a lot of people buying cigars back in that time. Regulations were not outrageous as they are nowadays. People were able to smoke indoors and all that kind of stuff. So Jonathan made the trip to Nicaragua in the mid 90s. So
Wow.
by 1996, another cigar manufacturer was making the cigar for him. And then up to the point that the guy that was making the cigar for him, his production was going up with other cigar brand owners. So that's
Hmm.
when Jonathan decided to open his own little place with 6 people, which was 6 empacadoras, which is ladies that work in the packaging department.
Yes.
And basically, while his production was being made in this factory, he was packaging those cigars, him and the other people that was working with him. By 1999, that's when Jonathan launched Acid Cigars, and
Yes.
Acid Cigar really changed the future of Drew Estate.
Yes.
Because the thing about that cigar is that for people to understand what acid is all about, people have to experience acids. They
Hmm.
have to experience the cigar itself.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, it would be very difficult to describe the flavor and the whole thing. One thing that I can tell you is that we use high quality raw materials when it comes to the tobacco that we use for all those acid cigars. And acid by far upsells everything right
Yeah.
here in the United States.
Yes.
Obviously, that cigar is not the right cigar for every country. And
Exactly.
talking about Canada, in Canada, Cubans in Habano cigar have been the biggest thing.
Yes.
And that's the first introduction that they had when they had the opportunity to smoke a premium cigar.
Right on.
So as it changing everything plus on top of that, now in every country they give you the opportunity to provide uh uh to do tasting samplers, give samplers
Absolutely.
away.
Yes.
That is a no-no. So everything is about, it's a very difficult thing to navigate nowadays because of the regulation that is happening. But that's how the whole story of Drew Estate went. So
Yes.
acid really put Drew Estate in the map because there were a lot of new cigar smokers
Yeah.
smoking acid and trying other things from the cigar industry. So
Absolutely.
overall, it has been a beautiful opportunity, not just for Drew Estate, but for a lot of premium cigar companies from other countries,
Yeah.
including Cuba.
Yeah, and it's just crazy to think about till this day. You're talking almost 25 years later.
Mhm.
I have people coming into our cigar store continuously asking for that distinct infused flavor that Acid Cigars is known for.
Yeah,
And for
man.
the new cigar comers who want something extremely different as opposed to natural tobacco, it's just great to have that option in our humidor that stands out, along with the Tabac Specials, which we'll talk about in later on and stuff like that.
Yes,
But yeah, that's
absolutely.
that's one of the many distinct innovative blends that I've come to realize Drew Estate is known for. The other things that I want to talk about is how, from my knowledge, not like dark tobacco makes up 99% of the cigar humidor. That's just being dark cured natural tobacco, with
Yes.
the other exceptions being Kentucky fire cured
Hmm.
tobacco, the Virginias of pipe tobacco, and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And you guys have dabbled into a whole bunch of those as well, the Kentucky fire
Yes,
cured, right? And
absolutely, man.
what does that approach look like? Where do you get the inspiration to have a blend Kentucky Fire Cured tobacco, and how do you get to that point that we have right now?
My brother, I truly appreciate the question. That's a very good, great question. So when
Thank
it
you.
comes to Drew Estate, everything is about keeping your mind open
Sure.
and taking the risk.
Yep.
Because if we start to just follow what other people have done in the past, Drew Estate is gonna be just another one.
Yes.
But in our end, it's about pushing the boundaries and going to the extreme where other people doesn't even think about it to go. When it comes to good example, Kentucky Fire Cure, a tobacco that is sun grown in Kentucky,
Yes.
and they do the fire cure differently because you got air cure and this one is fire cure using hickory wood. They put the wood that has been chopped it up in little pieces. They
Yes.
put those little pieces on fire, and
Right.
then the wood start to release that smoky taste
Absolutely.
that the tobacco itself start to absorb, and then the tobacco is ready in a matter of 15 to 16 days.
Sure.
That's
Yep.
when we acquire all the raw material in Nicaragua, and that's when we start to make all those different cigars. Another good example of non-traditional cigar is deadwood cigars. That's
Ah,
where we use
very
pipe tobacco
interesting.
on it,
Yes.
mild Nicaraguan tobaccos.
Yes.
Very different from the Kentucky Fire Cure because the Kentucky Fire Cure is a cigar that you are gonna have a very pleasant experience if
Yes.
you pair that cigar with bourbon. While
Absolutely.
Kentucky Fire, I mean, while Deadwood is a whole different animal because Deadwood we use high quality raw materials when it comes to the pipe tobacco that we use,
Yes.
sparking it up, and it's blend on mild Nicaraguan tobacco. So
Uh-huh.
where do we get all that inspiration? I think that what we do at Drew Estate is about thinking and always thinking about the end consumer experience. It's not
Yes.
about the trend, it's about the end consumer experience because
Absolutely.
the end consumer dictates what you guys are going to carry right into your cigar shop.
Yes.
The end
Absolutely.
consumer dictate what the distributor is going to bring into Canada.
Yes.
If you are really, literally here in the streets,
Yes.
you are gonna know for sure what
Yes.
is the new cigar that you're gonna bring into the market. In terms of new cigars, real estate doesn't bring new cigars every 6 months. We
Yes.
might throw one new cigar brand on or one new brand extension a year. And speaking about that, Joseph, I'm smoking right now.
I was gonna ask
The
what is it that you're smoking on? I don't
This
see
one
it.
is the freestyle life. Let's see if I can get this one
Uh
right.
yeah, it's a little bit it's not focusing. I think it's better now. I see the FSL Freestyle Live March 2024 on the band.
That's right. So
Yes.
tomorrow is gonna be the night that we're gonna be unveiling the new cigar, which is our freestyle life special
Wow.
edition.
Are
So
we
we
gonna
are
do a
doing.
surprise drop and drop it right now? Or
Oh no, man!
I'm
If I
just
do it
kidding.
now, the people in marketing they are gonna kill me.
I'm just kidding.
But I gotta tell you like this: for us, it's about exploring new blends, and when it comes to new blends, it's about having good raw materials in the factory and inventory,
Yeah.
having a very good master blender, which in this case, I would like to give a beautiful shout out to Willie Herrera, our master blender at Drew State.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Great,
And so
phenomenal,
he,
phenomenal blends
amazing,
from him.
amazing. And
We don't have them in Canada, unfortunately, because the
mhm,
distributor STG hasn't brought
mhm.
them in. But I sometimes go over to the States when I'm in there and get a chance to pick up some new blends. And Herrera's the lead, the blue label especially, is something that's always on my radar.
Nice, my
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
So yeah, so speaking about that's for sure, man. And I want to thank you for going, out of your way to get Drew State cigars.
Oh, of
So speaking
course.
about the Freestyle Live is the show that is happening tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, YouTube and
Nice.
Facebook. I'm inviting everybody that is gonna watch this. Or maybe if you're gonna post this podcast later on this week or maybe next week,
Yes, absolutely.
so everybody can go to YouTube, go to Drew State channel, and you're gonna see the Freestyle Live show. It's gonna be Jonathan Drew. It's gonna be Willie Herrera. It's gonna be people that work in the brand management department, myself, and we're gonna have fun. Everything at Drew State is about having fun.
Is
Working
the
hard,
YouTube
but have
the
fun.
YouTube channel is called just Drew Estate? That's it, or Drew Estate
Yes,
Cigars?
Drew Stay YouTube channel, which is the name of
Okay.
the of our channel on YouTube, and
Okay.
you're gonna look for the Freestyle Live, which is March 14th.
Yes, I personally look forward to it. I've always been watching your freestyle lives on the YouTube channel. I personally subscribe to that as well. So I'll be posting that if for anyone listening to this now, you'll get the link will be in the bio and it'll be on our Instagram page on our stories and stuff like that. So we'll be following
Yes,
you up to date as well for sure.
absolutely. And the other thing that I would like to add when it comes to that is that we're gonna be launching the tickets for the Barn Smoker events. You're talking
Yes.
about events that happens in a tobacco farm.
Yes.
Every event is for 1,000 people. And let me tell you this.
Yes.
We sold out those tickets in the first few days.
Wow.
So whoever anybody that wants to make the trip from
Yes.
Canada to Connecticut
Wow.
or to Hankinsville, Kentucky, or to Clermont, Florida, those are your chances because
Yeah,
those
man.
events you're gonna be learning, you're gonna have a great time. When I say learning, you're gonna have the experience how they grow tobacco in those particular places.
Wow.
On top of that, if you're talking about Connecticut, which is the closest to you guys,
Yeah.
everything is about Liga Privada, broadleaf tobacco, which
Yes.
is the one for Liga Privada number 9,
Yes.
T52 tobacco wrapper, which is for Liga Privada T52. Everything that has to do with Liga Privada, and when it comes
Yes.
to the food, the drinks, the cigar, the swag, the whole shenanigans
Just
is
everything Drew
well worth it
Estate.
to attend.
That creativity that Drew Estate brings to the table. And also, by the way, the hat you're wearing is the representative of the event that you're doing, the Barn Smoker stuff,
That's
right?
right. That
Yeah.
is correct. That's
If
right.
anybody
This is
wanted to purchase those swag and merchandise, do you guys have like a website that you can go to for that?
No, man, everything is for everybody that is attending to the
Yeah.
thing. And
Uh,
you know what? Now,
uh,
speaking about
exclusive.
that, for us, we like to keep it special. And
Yes.
especially, we switch the swag for every barn smoker, for every year barn smoker, because when you try to manage, different swag for different barn smoker, it becomes too much of a headache. In terms to do
Hmm.
something beautiful, you're gonna screw it around. So what
Yeah.
we do, we set the swag for all the barn smokers that are happening this year. So everybody that comes, they are gonna have a brand new swag. And the same thing applies to all the experiential events that we do across the United States with our brick and mortars
Yeah.
here in the United States. So for us, it's about showing love,
Absolutely.
not about asking what end consumers are gonna do for us, or not even
For sure.
retailers or distributors. It's about asking ourselves what can we do to enhance the end consumer experience.
100%. 100%. Very, very well said, Pedro. I want to circle back to what you were just mentioning a second ago, but talking about the events in Connecticut where you have home of the Liga Privada and along with other blends that are in the works there as well. One of the high quality varietals that you guys use coming out of Connecticut is obviously the broadleaf wrapper for that blend.
Yes. Mhm.
And you guys have differentiated from my to my knowledge at least how the broadleaf is used, and I believe the method that I want to coin is the stock cut. The
Yes.
stock cut, what are the benefits of doing that as opposed to just traditional cut and curing the tobacco the traditional way?
Absolutely, man. That's a great question, brother. I love it.
Yeah, thank
Because,
you.
when it comes to that, that's when I find myself up in the ocean.
Yeah,
I can go in different direction when it comes to that. Broadleaf stack cut. They have
yeah,
been doing a stack cut for quite some time. I would say maybe decades. Because
yes,
when it comes to priming the tobacco leaf, that's what happens in Cuba, in Dominican Republic, in Honduras, in Nicaragua. And that's basically is a lot of labor intense.
yeah.
Here in the United States, you have a benefit, especially for the tobacco growers, to do the stack cut because you cut the entire plant. You bring the entire plant, you hang it
Ah,
upside down in the cure barns,
yeah.
and then the benefit that cigar manufacturers like Drew they are going to have is that the tobacco is going to start to cure itself while getting feed from the stock that is still alive, believe it or not.
Wow,
So those tobacco plants goes from green to yellow to light brown to dark.
wow.
Now, if we are priming the tobacco by leaf, and I'm gonna take as an example Nicaragua. So in Nicaragua, we do it that way because this doing it like that, you are creating more yield to the tobacco grower. That means that there are gonna be more pounds that this person is gonna pull out of that acre because
Yes,
those leaves are gonna be growing more because of the sunshine. And
yes,
top of that, the ligero is the one that spend more time. Speaking about ligero, seco, and viso, and volado, if we are talking about people that have a lot of knowledge about growing Cuban tobacco. So from the bottom in Cuba, they call it volado. Then they call it seco. Then they
yes,
call it viso. And then they call it ligero.
yeah,
Ligero is the top part of the plant. Those are the plants that spend more time in the tobacco fields. Those are the plants that acquire more sunlight, and then the tobacco leaf is going to be very thick and
yes,
juicy and fat. And the
yes,
fatness and the juices, that's where all that nice flavor comes from. The other thing, when it comes to the tobacco seed itself, the variety of tobacco seed that give you the whole experience that you're gonna have in terms of smoking the tobacco, tasting the tobacco, the aroma of the tobacco, also have to do with the size of the tobacco plant, the size of the tobacco leaf, if they are long and narrow or
yes,
wide and short. But StatCat is a process that they have been using, I would say, for the last 60 years in Connecticut. They have been growing tobacco space, particularly broadleaf, since the early 1900s. So
wow.
for us,
I didn't know it had that much history behind it.
oh yeah, no, absolutely,
I
man.
thought it was a recent thing that came to light, and it was just used in like these new blends and stuff. But yeah, that's
Right.
very interesting to know.
So what happened to
Yeah,
us when we first had the opportunity to get some broadleaf tobacco that comes from Connecticut? Back in that time, the growing tobacco in Connecticut has been kind of dying out because the labor is getting very expensive. And
oh
then
yeah,
people choose to grow something else. But when we got the opportunity to get our hands on broadleaf, we invest, I think it was $250,000, which $250,000, you're talking about a couple of bells, tobacco
yeah,
bells. And
absolutely.
then we start to ferment that tobacco. The magic that happens in broadleaf is, I mean, besides having good tobacco coming straight from the cure barn, is
Hmm.
knowing how you're going to ferment that tobacco.
Yeah,
So we being clueless, like
yeah,
a blind bat.
yeah,
So we
right,
screwed
right.
away. We literally screwed up with the first batch that we exposed the tobacco to high temperature, short period of time to ferment the tobacco. Then we realized that the tobacco take longer than we thought. So by 2008, that's when we released Liga Privada number 9 in two sizes, the
Yes,
Toro size and the Robusto size. And then what happened right after that is that the following year, we
yes.
added two new sizes to Liga Privada number 9, and then we launched Liga Privada T52. But
T52.
speaking realistically, when you're talking about fermenting those type of tobaccos, which are very heavy when it comes to the texture, is that it takes between 2 years and a half up to 3 years to ferment that tobacco.
Yes.
So, but the end result is worth the patient because you're gonna get something extremely unique
Wow.
in the terms of being kind of a blend and a flavor that is smooth, is very flavorful, that is like meaty and juicy, but at the
Yeah.
same time, it has a nice characteristic or a nice character to be a medium to full body smoke.
Yes.
So for us, it has been a beautiful thing to do because before Liga Privada, a lot of people knew about Drew Estate, about being first in first, a flavor cigar company, which we
Yeah.
had never been.
Yeah.
A infused cigar company because of acid
Yeah.
and tabaco especial. And
Yeah.
a lot of people kind of doubt that Drew Estate will ever put out a traditional cigar. So
Yes.
we did with Liga Privada, and Liga Privada has been having a very nice embrace from the market.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
nowadays, for us, it's a blend and a brand that we are very aware and very careful to always keep the quality and the consistency.
Without a
There's
question.
many brands, Joseph. Probably you have seen it left and right.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
Many
all
new
the
brands that
time.
come into the market.
Yes.
The first batch is amazing. Then after that, the cigars start to
There's
become
problems.
just a regular one.
Yes.
You will never be
Yes.
able to sell a regular cigar if you're not putting your heart, your mind, your tear, your soul, your sacrifice, and
Yes.
everything to do in order to do something right. So
Yes.
Liga Privada really is a flagship brand that we have,
Yeah.
and for us, it is our opportunity
Yeah.
to put that cigar that is being handmade in Nicaragua to put it in consumer hands.
That very well said, Pedro. Thank you for that brief summation and the history behind it. And I think for it's worth mentioning for anyone watching this that doesn't know, Liga Privada translates to private label in
Right.
English.
That's
And
right.
I that was the case because a lot of the factory workers at the time were smoking too many of these. And it
Mm-hmm.
leads me to my next point. That's what brought the creation of the undercrown, correct?
Yes, that
And
is
now we
correct.
have so many different variations of the underground. Most recently, in Canada, at least, we've had the 10th anniversary that was finally brought in. That one bears a San Andreas wrapper as opposed to the broadleaf wrapper.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of in the same ballpark, I find them both, but they have their own distinguishing characteristics, of course. The unfortunate reality in the Canadian market, Pedro. I'm not sure if
Mm-hmm.
you've heard about this in Canada, but we have plain packaging on
I
our
know,
cigars.
man. Yes, I
And
was in the factory and I
Scandinavian,
kind of saw how the
yeah.
cigar look like nowadays.
So our distributors refuse to double band it, so we're stuck with one of these iconic government bands that our government has worked so hard and designing. It looks like this right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a green background with
Yes,
white printing on it. You
I
can
know,
see
man.
how clearly distinguished it is from the rest of them. I think it's very beautiful, if you ask me.
Yes.
But yeah.
No, no, and you know what? And to be honest with you, Joseph, I think that, you know, when it comes to laws and regulations,
Yeah.
if we are not paying attention, I'm talking we as a cigar manufacturers, you guys as a retailers,
Yeah.
the end consumers, because he is the one that is getting those cigars and chasing for that beautiful smoking experience. What happened in the industry, and that has been happening since day one, is that it's a very misunderstood industry.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And for people to truly understand what cigars are all about, everything is about having the opportunity to go to a cigar lounge, meeting the people that smoke cigars, and at the same time learning a thing or two how those cigars are made.
Yeah.
So speaking about the Canadian market nowadays, I think that everything have to go through experience, I guess. Because if a brand cannot tell you nothing, because you cannot even see a color, you cannot even see the name.
Yeah.
So everything is about doing what is allowed, what the law allows you to do, but to do
Yes.
it right. And that's what
Yes.
we have been doing with these barn smoker events, even cigar safari when we bring people to Nicaragua to see the factory. So everything have to be through experience, Through experience, not just like feeding you with a lot of information and not giving
Yes.
you nothing to munching with. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
100%. Yeah, very well
To
said. I
entertain
agree.
yourself.
Yes, yeah. Everything within boundaries and limits
Hmm.
and stuff. That makes sense. I want to transition to a topic that I found to be pretty like in high demand based on what our customers want to know.
Hmm.
When we launched our online store, one of our better selling products has been the factory smokes,
Okay.
particularly the Maduros. And it
Nice.
just by nature it posed a lot of questions. People wanted to know
Hmm.
if it's a long filler blend. I told them it's not, it's a
Hmm.
mixed filler, but it's hard
Yes.
to describe what that means exactly. Can you
Yes.
just shed some insight for anybody who's a consistent factory smokes worker? What is
Absolutely.
that blend composed of?
Well, for everybody that has been smoking Factory Smokes by Drew Estate, I want to thank you guys. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
And first thing first, there is not a premium cigar company out there that can claim we only make long filler cigars. So we're
Oh yeah,
gonna set the record straight. So we
absolutely.
have to make short filler cigars. It is because to reuse the clips that comes from the foot and the head of other cigars. And
Yes,
speaking about factory smokes, is a mild to medium cigar. We have one presentation that is sweet, but the other presentation that are traditional. And
yes,
that one, it came to be because, not everybody that loves cigars, everybody have different limits when it comes to the budget of how much they want to spend on cigars.
yes,
So we have the excuse like Liga Privada to factory smokes. Factory smokes is what I call a daily smoke 24/7
absolutely.
because it's
Yes,
a cigar that is not gonna hurt your wallet. You're gonna have a very good cigar in your hand, and at the same time, for us, give us the opportunity to reuse raw material because that raw material that we have in the factory is good raw material that comes from long filler cigar that we made. So when we launched Factory Smokes, I remember the first time that they asked me to do a promotion video.
yeah,
Okay, before I talk about this one, I have to
yeah.
smoke this one first. So I smoked this cigar, and then wow, man, this stuff is really good. So I asked her, so what is the price point of this one? Oh, it's this. I mean, I'm not gonna discuss the price because
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Canada and the United States, two different
it's
markets with
different
different
markets. Yeah,
tax rating and stuff like that. I was like, wait a minute, wow. So yeah, but we're gonna be launching this one. And Factory Smoke became a monster for Drew Estate. It
of course.
literally a monster, huge. Because the guy that buys bundled cigar is not gonna buy 5 cigars.
He's buying the whole bundle.
The
Yeah.
guy is buying the whole bundle, maybe one or two, three bundles. Maybe the person lives very far away from your cigar store.
Yes,
So
yes,
he doesn't want to make a trip every week. So he'd rather make a trip once every 3 weeks or every
exactly.
month.
Yes.
So for us, it was about delivering a cigar, as I said, great to the palate, amazing to the wallet.
Mm, 100%. That's very well said.
Because the cigar is good.
Yes.
It's mild to medium. It's a cigar that anybody can smoke. You can
Yeah.
spark every one of them one after another one, and you're gonna be all fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for us, that was one of the reasons. And we have other excuses where we use short filler cigars. And a good example on that one is papas fritas.
Yeah.
Papas
Oh,
fritas,
very
nasty
interesting.
fritas is a
Yeah.
short filler cigar as well.
Mm,
Clips that comes exclusively from the Liga Privada rolling table, and
yeah.
we use those to create a new brand, to create a product that people are gonna be able to afford, but at the same time to create something new.
Okay.
And Papas Fritas, Nasty Fritas, Factory Smokes has been brands that have been coming into the market. They have been sticking to the market. We have been investing more into the brand. By investing more into the brand, it's about buying more raw material,
Yeah.
hiring more people at the factory, creating creating and giving to the brand a purpose to live and a
Yes.
space to navigate into the market. And how you do that? By creating marketing programs, by
Very well
creating,
said.
how do you say, program incentive to the end consumer to go and explore more.
Absolutely.
Drew
Yeah.
Estate invests a lot of money when it comes to marketing. And
Oh,
we put
yeah.
a lot of energies when it comes to that because the
Yeah.
cigar, there are a lot of great cigars nowadays. but the cigar sells better when there is a great story behind. The
Yeah,
cigar sells way better when there is a support from the cigar company to the retailers. Well, in your case, to your distributor, and then your distributor pass that benefit to you guys.
absolutely.
So, and that's what we do. At the end of the day, man, is everything that we do in everything that we do in companies is about teamwork. It's not
Teamwork.
one main show. It's
Yeah,
teamwork.
yeah,
And with your support, Joseph, and the fact that you know a lot about real estate
yeah,
is what keep us in business. Because we
yeah.
can be doing an event. Let's say if one day we go to Canada, we go to your shop and we do an event. Not everybody that buy your cigar is gonna be there, but it
Exactly.
only takes to for somebody or for few people to understand what Drew stays in the industry for them to transfer that knowledge
The
of that
knowledge. Yeah,
particular company to their
yeah.
other cigar people.
Because I tell our friends and customers all the time, like you see a finished product, but behind the product is years and years of experience and hard work and production factories for it to come to a completion.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to understand, like they're not just smoking the cigar itself. It's a whole experience in terms of the art that comes with it, the factory it's came from. Like even in Drew Estate with all the graffiti and the art that they have on the walls, it's just a standout culture. Those
Thank you, man.
minor details, even like you call them minor, but it makes a difference in a lot of people's smoking experience,
Oh
knowing like
yeah,
where this came from and how it stands out amongst the other alternatives in the shop as well.
absolutely. Oh yeah. At the end of the
Yeah,
day, yeah, it's about going extra mile,
yeah.
extra mile, no matter what.
Who does the
It,
graffiti in the art in the factory, by the way? That's
so
interesting.
in the factory we have
Because
art.
nobody in Nicaragua has something like
No,
that.
nobody has that. The thank you so very much for the knowledge that one.
Yeah.
So at Drew State Factory, we have an art studio that is called Subculture Studios.
Okay.
Drew State hire local artists to create them, and they are the one that create a lot of beautiful swag when it comes to Subculture Studio. Things that
Yeah.
we might see it, and sometimes I get surprises when I see things like, wow, man, I never imagined that I would be seeing something like this.
Yeah.
And for us, it's beautiful because everything is about being creative. And when it comes to artists, especially graffiti artists or people that paint by hand, or people that design things, these people always think outside of the box.
Yes. Yes.
And when you got a company that listen to that and get the feedback, how we can do it better, because in life there is always room to improve,
Yes.
as well as in cigars. There is always room to improve about how you can create a great blend, how
Yes.
you can create how you can even add efficiency into the factory,
Oh, of course.
how you can create a stuff that will get people's attention. And even
Mm-hmm.
what you are doing right here, Joseph, creating content for your end
Yes.
consumers is priceless. And
Wow.
trust me
Thank you.
when I'm telling you,
Yeah.
all
My
this
man.
sacrifice that you guys are doing
Yeah.
is paying off,
Yes.
is going to pay off with big dividends.
I just think it's important for other people, especially for our friends and customers in Canada, to really break the gap of knowledge because people don't know much about the smaller details, like I mentioned, like the history and the blenders and just the experience and the art and the inspiration. That
Mm-hmm.
stuff is what people are interested in learning about. It's more than just a cigar, and that's what we tell people all the time. So that's why we're glad to have people like you come on and explain where things come from and how much time goes into these products, not just from the tobacco, but also from the packaging and the other names and
Yes.
creativity that go with it.
No, and
Yeah,
you know what? At the end of the day, man, everything is about thinking it right
yeah,
and shooting for the best.
100%.
Not
Yeah,
hoping that things are gonna work. We're gonna shoot for the best because we're gonna give it the best that we can
well
give.
said. Yeah. So, I the question for you, this is kind of a personal question, actually. I
Mm-hmm.
always wondered, when I smoke Drew Estate cigars, Pedro, I get
Mm-hmm.
a ton of smoke output
Uh-huh.
and great flavor enhancement, great transition of flavor, of course. But when I dug deeper into the matter, I figured there's different bunching methods of the tobacco. And Drew Estate is a factory that's known to use a hybrid method for some blends between, I believe,
Yes.
accordion and
Hmm.
Bertada in different ways. Like they zigzag the filler of the tobacco,
Yes.
the tobacco rather, in a way where the smoke is enabled to have such a large output.
Oh yeah.
And that in of itself to me is one of the more distinguishing factors when I smoke a Drew Estate cigar.
Thank you
People
so
don't
very much,
recognize
man.
that level of smoke output and concentration of flavor is
Hmm.
something that I truly appreciated
Thank you.
over time. Like when did that come about for you guys? Do you have any knowledge on that?
Yeah, yeah. When it comes to that, in the factory, there are two ways of making cigars.
Yeah,
One that is called entubado,
yeah,
which is the Cuban style cigar. And when I
sure.
say Cuban style cigar, because Nicaragua inherits the cigar industry as you know it nowadays, and it was because of the first Cuban people that came into my country.
Yes.
Another way to make cigar, that one is entubado. So basically, when you are making an entubado cigar,
Yes.
you are taking one leaf at a time, making a tooth out of it, and boom, stacking in
Right,
the bunch.
right.
Making
Yes.
another one, boom, stacking in the bunch. Stacking in the bunch. Depending on how the blend of the cigar is,
Mm-hmm.
that's how many tubes you're gonna make to put it in the bunch.
Okay.
Now, the other one that you mentioned, the accordion style, that one is called entrujado. Is when you fold the leaf like this,
Mm-hmm.
and then you are creating channels that goes different channels that goes through the accordion style that
Mm.
you are making out of every single leaf. So that is creating right there draw channels.
Right, right.
There is not such a thing that you can compare of as smoking a very famous cigar, an expensive cigar,
Yeah.
that the cigar doesn't provide a good draw.
Yes.
The draw is extremely important, as
Yep.
it is very important that the combustion of the cigar, as it is very important the flavor of the cigar, the consistency of the blend, and the
Uh-huh.
whole 9 yards when it comes to that. But when it comes to the draw, that is one thing that Drew Estate has. The strength of all of our cigars is that 90.5% of them are
Yeah.
gonna draw good. And
100%.
I don't
Yeah.
say 100% because all of our cigars are made by hand. And there's gonna
Exactly.
be
It's
at
a handmade
least
product. Yes.
one, that is not gonna
Yes.
live to the expectation. But
And
the
that's the
majority of
case with
them,
any brand in the world, by the way.
yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And when it comes to the smoky that the cigar provides, everything is the smoke that the cigars provide while you're smoking that cigar, that is
Yeah.
just burning by itself.
Of course.
It's
Yeah.
another interesting character that happens when you are fermenting the tobacco. When you are fermenting the tobacco properly, the tobacco will burn by itself. Even
Yes.
when we are transferring tobacco bales from the tobacco warehouse to the main production floor, the production chief, he has to examine every single bale, getting the aroma of the leaf. You
Mm.
open a bunch of leaf like a book,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
you get a very nice sniff into it, and you say, good, this one is good. And then at the same time, you are getting one leaf at a time, cracking a little hole in the leaf and the body of the leaf. You get a lighter, spark that one up. Once the fire start to go like this, it's like a wildfire,
Yes. Yes.
and you have to expand for at least 5 seconds.
Ah.
The same things, that experience applies to the cigar itself, especially.
Uh-huh.
Let's say that you are doing this show, you are smoking X and Y cigar, and then you spark the cigar up. The cigar is giving you all the beautiful flavor out of it. And then you got busy doing something else. But then
Mm.
minutes after, the best experience is that I hope that the cigar is lit. And when the cigar is
And
lit,
it's
you know
still
that you
lit.
got a friend
Yes.
that is waiting for you. Oh my goodness.
Yes. The cigar's
That's a
waiting
good
for
line
you.
right there.
Yeah. We're
A
gonna clip
friend
that one.
waiting for you. Oh my
Yeah.
God, bro.
Well
I
said.
never thought about that one, but you know what? It is true as it can be.
Yeah.
because when I'm smoking my cigars here at home, and maybe I'm, busy and working on some emails or planning some trips and stuff like that, but the cigar is so damn good, and it doesn't have to be Drew Estate. It can be something else because I smoke everybody's cigar as long as I can get it for free, And
100%.
when I go and revisit the cigar that has been smoking and the cigar is still lit, and the cigar at that point is giving you a whole different flavor because you are letting the cigar cool off.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Absolutely.
Damn, that's when you said, God damn, I have to buy more.
Yeah. Yeah. When you're smoking the cigar all the way down to the final nub, that's when you know it's a fantastic blend and something that has to have like a full box of in your humidor. Absolutely.
Absolutely, man. And the thing
Yeah.
about smoking a cigar is that you have to have a time to smoke.
Yeah.
For everybody that is listening to this show, guys, you better listen to this, bro. So, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, please take some notes. When
Yes.
you spark a cigar, make sure to have time. You cannot smoke a good cigar in a rush. It's
Uh-huh.
like eating a ribeye. I don't know if you guys eat beef. Not everybody eat beef, but I'm a beefy
Of
guy.
course. No, I do. Me too. Yeah. Yeah.
So
All the
if I
time.
eat meat, it's not about running with a piece of grilled meat in my hand and trying
Yeah.
to enjoy it. It's
Yeah.
about me sitting down and enjoying this meal. The same
100%.
thing is with cigars. So, and having time is the best because what is the equivalent of time that you're gonna have while you're smoking a cigar between could be 1 hour, 1 hour and 50 minutes, 1 hour and a half. It all depends how fast and how slow you smoke the cigar.
Yeah, I mean, it's everyone has their own approach, of course. It's a meditative thing and they
Mm-hmm.
want to take time within relaxation and stuff. I'm curious in a day for in the life of Pedro,
Mm-hmm.
um what is it like? Do you have a favorite Drew Estate blend that you enjoy smoking?
I like, thank you for asking that. So my
Yeah.
go-to when it comes to Drew Estate is Underground 10.
Ah, which one?
The Underground 10 is the one that we released in 2020. So
Yeah.
you got three different Underground nowadays. Actually, there were four. And there were other subculture brands within the Underground, but I'm going to mention to you right now. So the original OG, when it comes to the Underground, is the Underground Maduro. That's
Uh
the one where we use Mexican wrapper, broadleaf binders, and fillers that come from from Brazil and Nicaragua. The cigar
yeah.
is a medium body smoke with a
Yes.
Maduro wrapper. The other one that we have is the Undercrown Shade. That's the one that we use. Connecticut Shade wrapper. That's this one.
Uh-huh.
The cigar is very creamy, very smooth, mild to medium, using Connecticut Shade wrapper from Ecuador, a Sumatra Indonesia binder, fillers that
Yeah.
come from Dominican Republic and Nicaragua. The other one that we discontinue, unfortunately, because there is no room to keep creating those, even though that it was selling well, but not to the point that how other brands were selling at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So we discontinued that cigar 3 years ago, and that one was the Underground Sun-Grown with a
Okay.
sun-grown tobacco seed.
Mm.
And the one that we launched after that was a beautiful celebration or celebratory blend or brand that we create to celebrate 10 years of Underground being in the market. And
Mm-hmm.
that one we use high priming Mexican wrapper, broadleaf binders, and fillers that comes from Nicaragua. The
Wow.
cigar is medium to full, and it is what I call our hot Mexican chocolate
Nice.
because the
Nice.
cigar just tastes like that from the moment that you light that one up to the moment that you are debating this to put the cigar down. So,
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
so when we
It's
first
like
launched
that.
that cigar, that was in 2010, 2002. We had the opportunity to be the best Nicaraguan cigar brand.
Yeah.
And it was a award Cigar Journal magazine, a magazine that is out of Europe, gave
Mm-hmm.
it to Drew Estate. So it was a beautiful recognition. And for us, we truly appreciate all that. Not to the point to earn a award. Award is nice because it showcase and highlight everything that goes into the brand. But
Of course.
our our award comes from everybody that have a very nice, pleasant experience.
Of
Because
course.
those are the ones that are gonna be supporting the brand. Those are
Of
gonna be the
course.
ones that are gonna give us the resource to buy more tobacco and keep making those. Buy more tobacco and keep making those.
Yeah, very well said. So just to recap, the Undercrown Maduro you'd consider to be your favorite personal blend from Drew
Mm-hmm.
Estate. Yeah,
Undercrown 10. Yeah, the 10 and the
Undercrown
Maduro, two
10.
different ones. Yes.
Okay. Okay, Undercrown 10
The
Maduro.
Undercrown 10 is the one that brings a
Okay, yeah, yeah,
beautiful
yeah.
gold
That's the
ribbon.
high priming. Yeah,
Yes, that's a really good one. It's a cigar that really kills the appetite for anybody that wants to smoke a premium Maduro cigar.
high priming San Andreas wrapper on that
Mm-hmm.
one.
High
Yeah.
promotion on the grapper. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, very well said. What advice would you have for the novice smoker who's new to cigars and he wants to get into the Drew Estate catalog? Is the shade perhaps something that I would lean towards because of the Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper on that one?
Okay.
Do you think that's a worthy recommendation, or is it just not always the case? We can start off
No, no. Well, no, no. I
something
think
different.
that every cigar is a race. Every cigar is the right cigar if the cigar is the right cigar for somebody's palate.
Uh,
So a good example, speaking about that one, how to for the new people out there that want to try Drew Estate and they want to try a traditional cigar,
yeah,
we have the Underground Shade. We also have 20 Acre Farms,
yes, 20 Acre
and
Farms. Yeah.
then and that's in the Canadian market. In the United States market, we are also the distributor of Joya de Nicaragua.
Mm.
Joya de Nicaragua, they make the Cabineta, which is a really nice smoke. Antaño City, which is my go-to right there. And
Oh
speaking
yeah,
about
I've tried that. Yeah,
that one, is a really good one. Now, speaking
really
about
good
people
cigar.
that have a very kind of sweet palate,
Mm-hmm.
and how you can define somebody has a sweet palate or a traditional palate. If somebody has a traditional palate, that means that guys like to drink liquor, like bourbon,
Yeah,
scotch, whiskeys. So that's good. And they like meat, like beef and all that kind of stuff. So that guy or that person is immediately a traditional palate. If the other person like, like sweet drinks, like cocktails, like margaritas, like all the kind of stuff, and then they like maybe fish and stuff like that. So maybe a good go-to cigar from Drew Estate gotta be Acid Cigars, Tabaco Especial, which is a coffee-infused cigar. It
yeah,
has to be Deadwood Cigars, which is a smoking pipe tobacco
yeah,
without going through the hassle of packing that pipe. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
That one
exactly.
is about cut,
Yeah,
lit, and smoke. And you got a pleasant smoke right there. So that's my two suggestions when it comes to them.
yeah,
And when it comes to if you are smoking a cigar among people that are not cigar smokers, let's say that you're going to a wedding
yeah,
and you want to bring cigars that are easy to smoke. Don't
yeah,
bring the heavy hitters because nobody's gonna be able to finish that. So a cigar is like you from the moment that you start to smoke that cigar, the whole experience ends, as you said, Joseph, is to end the smoke, to end the cigar itself. That's when
yeah.
God damn it, I had a great time with that cigar.
Absolutely. Well, Pedro, I mean, I've covered so much with you in an hour, and I feel like I could talk cigars with you
Oh
for
my
all
God,
day
yeah.
long if I wanted to, because as surprising as it sounds, I can keep going and going, and I want to be respectful of your time.
No, no
Um,
problem, man. So I mean,
you know
mhm.
what? My brother has a question on the side.
Yes,
I'm gonna reel it over.
please.
What? Yeah, my brother and I went to Esteli twice last year, and we've trying to find some good spots to eat. We found a few because we're like you, we're beefy, we like the
Oh
steaks and
my
stuff.
God, that's good.
What do you recommend to eat there when we're down in Esteli?
Dude, I didn't know that you guys went to my hometown.
Oh yeah, I
Holy
did.
smoke.
Yeah,
That's really nice, man. The last time that I
yeah,
was
man.
back in home was in January through the Nicaraguan Cigar Festival. In Nicaragua,
Yeah,
one thing that distinguishes Nicaraguan food compared to a lot of Latin American food, a good example, Mexican food tends to lean into be spicy.
yeah.
Nicaraguan food tends to be more flavorful. And speaking about meat, next time that you guys go there is one restaurant that is called El Asadero. It's owned by a good friend of mine. We
El
we went to school together
asadero. I just
in
want to write that
Esteli.
down.
And El
Yeah,
Asadero is a local joint in Esteli. And everything that they do right there is just grilled chicken, grilled pork, grilled meat, tomahawk, and the whole 9 yards, ribeye, you
Mm.
name it. And the guy's doing very well. So you are gonna be surprised that
How do I
local
how do I spell it, Pedro? Sorry. Asadero.
asadero is
Yeah.
ASADOR.
Yeah. O-R.
Asadero. Oh, and R and then O.
Okay.
Asadero.
Asadero. Okay, cool.
Asadero, yes. And
Yeah.
the other one that just opened just recently is called El Capital, I think, or the
El Capital.
capital. Is
Okay.
right next to the soccer stadium. I never had the opportunity to go there, but guys that goes from Drew State recently, a good of my
Yeah.
friend that work in marketing, they went there, and they are speaking highly about that place.
Mm.
So yeah, man. So when it comes to Nicaraguan food, yeah, there is a lot of great options. Speaking about dishes, you should try the oxtail soup with vegetable. Oh my God.
Really?
Especially after a crazy night from the night before.
Ah.
That's the hangover treat.
Perfect.
So
Players?
yeah, so that's that.
Oh,
And, I mean, there is so many great places to eat in Esteli.
yeah.
So when is it gonna be the next time that you guys go there?
Well, I would think we're gonna go there in about a few months, 2 or 3 months, I would say.
Beautiful.
We have to
Try
plan a trip.
another one that is called carne asada.
Carne, carne
Carne,
asada, we've been.
yeah, carne
Yeah,
asada
yeah,
is a local dish that everybody makes,
yeah.
and it tastes very well. The thing about the difference between the meat that we consume, well, I don't know about Canada, but here in the United States has a lot of hormones and a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
The
Of course, yeah,
Nicaraguan,
yeah,
the Nicaraguan meat, I'm talking about, pigs and chickens and cows.
yeah.
It's more like a organically
Organic, it's
grown,
clean. Yeah,
yes, clean meat.
clean
So
meat. Yeah, it's good,
that's
man.
right.
I
Very good,
appreciate that
brother.
recommendation. Yeah, I mean, I'll
Anytime,
let you know
brother.
when I go down there in a few months.
Let me know,
The
man. So
feedback and
let me
stuff.
know ahead
I'm
of
sure it's
time.
great.
I'm gonna make sure that you guys get a tour at Drew State Factory, but
Thank
let
you.
me know ahead of time, maybe month before
A
you go
month in
there.
advance. Yeah,
So I'm gonna put you in contact with our international sales director, and
perfect.
and then in contact with the guys from the factory. So this way, this guy can give you guys a very good tour.
That means a lot. I really appreciate that. You know me, I'm such an enthusiast and I would never turn down that opportunity. So I'll be sure to let you know in advance. And yeah, and your time here today is very well appreciated, Pedro.
No,
You're the
thank you so
man.
much, man.
Thank you very very much for everything. And I hope to talk to you soon. Good luck on the freestyles live tomorrow, guys. It's gonna
Thank
be
you.
this week. And we're gonna be broadcasting that too, showing guys where you guys can follow and step today with the newer blends from Drew Estate. Thank you guys so
Absolutely.
much for tuning in.
Oh yeah,
And
and I want to
yeah,
say my last 2 cents right here from everybody that is watching the show. Please
yeah,
stay tuned because Smoke Master
yeah,
Cigars is bringing you what you guys have been looking for. So stay
my
tuned with
man.
these guys, and I want to thank you, Joseph. I want to thank your company and everybody that made this one through. This podcast show, and everybody that is up there. Thank you so very much, guys, for your business, Drew Stay. We
Yep,
truly appreciate your business, and we're looking forward to see you guys in person. Hopefully,
yeah,
whoever is coming to Las Vegas next week, we're gonna
yes,
be there in flesh, and
yes.
we're bringing all the shenanigans from
There
Drew
you go,
Stay
guys.
to
Yeah,
everybody in Vegas.
thank you. Okay,
All right,
awesome,
brother. Have a good
awesome,
one.
my
Thank you
friend.
so very much,
Yeah,
Joseph.
thank you so much. Talk soon. Bye.
All right. Bye bye.